And then comes about, have you ever thought about from where the newspaper vendor is eking out a living? The people who are selling vegetables to you, what are they doing? And I know many of the kids think that potatoes grow in supermarket shelves. So we don't even teach kids the reality. So this is very, very important to understand that we are not born only to enjoy life and just go off. It is important to give back. That's what the Rana we said. The giving back is the crucial stuff. So being thankful to the parentage. We may have a lot of issues. It's human to have issues because we are normal human beings. But at the back of the mind, we should be always grateful that they allowed us to enter this world. Because we might have a lot of hardships when we were young. Maybe we were not treated well. Maybe nobody took care of us. Maybe mother left us, father left us, or somebody passed away. It's all absolutely fine because the tradition tells us that we deserve it. Don't get into self pity mode. We deserve it. Like how you think you deserve certain things in life, you deserve it. Just accept it and then work on it. That's it. When you get a good home or a good piece of dress, you say you deserve it, right? You deserve it. I wish to treat myself. I deserve this treat. Like that, anything which is happening in life, we in tradition are asked to say we deserve it, we need it for our growth and maturity. That's it. So, whatever circumstances it may be, the sense of gratitude towards our ancestry in the parents can never, should never be diminished. In reality, we may have a lot of arguments with them. We may agree to disagree. That word I am borrowing from Srini. We agree to disagree, and we may not even see them eye to eye in many issues. But remember, deep within, that sense of gratitude should be there. And given an opportunity, it's like taking the horse to the water. You should take yourself to the point of resolution. That is the way we deal with elders in the tradition, because they are responsible for us for inheriting not only the property, the earth as well. But are we leaving that the same way to the next generation? Because we are not mindful of what we inherited, that is why we are not passing away in a mindful way. Second is the respect we need to develop towards knowledge systems, right? Knowledge systems are two types of knowledge systems. One is the knowledge system which will never change. The one system will change. Like earlier, we used pagers, then we used monochrome mobiles, then we used everything. And today, you don't even need to have a wire to charge your mobile. You just place on the table, it charges. So, the knowledge of making things for the ephemeral world, we have to respect those people. They found a model wherein they can use Zoom free, Facebook free, LinkedIn free, Instagram free. So, what are we going to give free to the society? What are we going to give? So, unless we respect knowledge, we will never be in a position to create something which will be utilized by others. So, we should be thankful for people who created such systems. Second aspect of knowledge is the knowledge which can never change, like what is right or wrong, not injuring people, trying to speak the truth, trying to help others. This was the value 5,000 years before. It will remain the value 5,000 years later also. So people who have devised these structures like yoga, medicines, homeopathy, Ayurveda, how to live life, those things never change. So there are two types of knowledge. One is the knowledge system, which is the very life itself. Another is the knowledge system which will keep changing. So we should develop gratitude towards both these systems so that we know at the times of change to get back to the knowledge which is not changing. Otherwise, you will be overwhelmed with the change which is happening. For example, people knowingly or unknowingly who learned meditation, pranayama, or any stuff, Why are they having that 5-10 minutes of solitude and happiness? Or people who had the habit of praying, suddenly you cannot develop a habit of praying or meditating when corona is hitting us and we are sitting at home. It's a culture, it's a mind culture. Like agriculture, this is a mind culture. It has to be done, cultivated over a period of time. So, what are those tips and techniques from our own traditions where we belong, which are there throughout, which our grandfather practiced, great grandfather practiced, which are worthy enough to be handed over to the next generation? So, at least one such practice we should hold. Then, the third thing is acknowledging the role of fellow human beings as well. So, many times when we succeed, we are the reason for success. When you fail, there are many people because of whom you fail. It's quite natural. So the idea is the big network, human network is there. So are we mindful of that big human network? Today we are sitting at home and talking because the health workers are slogging out in the streets. The law enforcement agencies are slogging out to enforce lockdown or shutdown. The entire political establishment for the first time in their lives across countries are working now, because else they will never be re-elected next term. At least in that fear people are working. We have seen people who have never worked throughout life are working outside in the road, and people have slogged all these years. We are sitting at home, but still there is somebody who has to slog outside so that we are sitting peaceful at home. Have we been mindful and included them in our day-to-day prayers? These are simple things which we can give, correct? And then we have this great responsibility towards the nature around us. At least now, can we not add to it the pollution? Can we practice sustainability? Can we practice reuse? So this we call as one of the debts we have towards nature. So the first debt was towards the parentage and ancestors. Second is towards the knowledge systems. Actually, third is this, the debt towards the nature around us. Can we see the butterflies in the garden, or we just want to spray some chemicals and knock them off the system without knowing that if butterflies and bees are not there, we ourselves will be wiped off. Correct? So, are we mindful of this nature? And then this helping other human beings comes into the play. And finally, what are we doing to this ants, other creatures, including the diverse flora and fauna which we have inherited from our forefathers? What are we contributing? Are we reducing the carbon footprint, or are we going to increase? So, like, these are the practical ways of developing mindfulness. Because if you just sit and develop mindfulness, it will not happen. You will actually fall asleep very quickly. So don't get tricked into just sit, close your eyes, 20 minutes you can meditate. It's absolutely not possible. Lot of unfinished work is there inside. So unless you bear it open, make a system, it's not going to work. So while being at home, what can we do to make life better for ourselves and others? That others include people in the home and outside. So we can think about all that. So this is another 5 steps which we can actually do towards bettering, walking towards the enlightened living.